Tired of the negativity? Looking for a shot of optimism? Well, I have an inspiring story to make you smile right after this. This episode of Misfits and Crackpots is brought to you by Well-Crafted Story. Is your team struggling to communicate your company's value and convert prospects into clients? Well-Crafted Story specializes in corporate storytelling for businesses around the world. Coach Jimmy Hayes Nelson, yours truly, Dr. Danny Brissell, and our expert team will fly to your location to work directly with your people, teaching them how to craft and deliver your company's story in a way that truly resonates and converts. Whether you're preparing for investor pitches, sales presentations, or client meetings, we'll transform how your entire team communicates your mission, vision, and value proposition. Don't let another quarter pass with missed opportunities. Get your free story blueprint today at freestoryguide.com and discover how the right story can become your company's most powerful business tool. That's guide like a tour guide. Your company's success story starts here. Visit freestoryguide.com now. You're just a well-crafted story away from 7 figures. Hello there, my friend, and welcome to Misfits and Crackpots. Short, inspiring stories for busy people. I'm Dr. Danny Brissell. This is a podcast for those interested in extraordinary stories about ordinary people and companies. Consider it your dose of positivity and inspiration for the week. Alice Walker wrote, "The most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any." This week's success strategy: be resourceful. Just north of the quaint Danish village of Billund, Ole Kirk Christensen was born the son of a farmer in 1891. Life in rural Denmark at the turn of the century was marked by simplicity and the demands of agricultural work, shaping the character of those who called it home. With arms as wiry as the crops he tended, he learned the virtue of hard work at a young age. His was a world fashioned by calloused hands and the unyielding determination of a visionary's heart. While his family worked the land, young old Kirk's ambitions did not take root in the fertile earth, but in the shavings of his father's woodworking shed, where he spent countless hours learning the basics of carpentry. His hands were as rugged as the wood he carved, yet they held a touch as gentle as the dreams he nurtured. There was something special about turning stubborn wood into objects of utility and beauty, a skill that young old Kirk was determined to master. The craftsmanship required precision, patience, and an eye for detail, qualities that would define his future endeavors. By his early 20s, old Kirk had completed his apprenticeship as a carpenter, working in several workshops across Denmark and Germany. These formative years exposed him to different techniques and approaches to woodworking, broadening his skills and vision. In 1916, he returned to Billund and, investing his life savings, purchased his own woodworking shop. Through years of practice and dedication, he built a reputation for quality furniture that attracted numerous customers from the surrounding region. His workshop produced everything from chairs and tables to cabinets and agricultural tools. Each piece that left his workshop reflected his core belief that quality and effort were inseparable. This unwavering commitment to craftsmanship earned him respect throughout the community. The winds of fate were not always kind, though. In 1924, a devastating fire ravaged his woodworking shop, destroying not only the building but also his entire inventory and most of his tools. While others might have seen these ashes as the end, old Kirk viewed them as an opportunity to begin again from scratch. With remarkable resilience, he secured loans and rebuilt his workshop, implementing improvements in its design and organization. But times grew increasingly difficult. When the Great Depression cast its dark shadow over the world in the late 1920s, it did not spare the quiet lanes of Billund. The economic downturn hit Denmark hard, and old Kirk found that the demand for his once popular furniture had dwindled to almost nothing. Farmers and townspeople alike could no longer afford new furniture, forcing him to adapt or face bankruptcy. Rather than succumb to despair, Old Kirk made a pivotal decision that would alter not only his future, but the future of children's play worldwide. He turned his skilled hands to crafting wooden toys. See, old Kirk believed that even in the hardest times, children deserve the joy of play. The transition wasn't immediate. He continued to produce furniture when possible, but old Kirk increasingly focused on creating affordable, high-quality toys. Through his eyes, these were not mere playthings, but vessels of creativity, each one sparking a child's imagination. His workshop produced horses that galloped, ducks that waddled, and yo-yos that spun at the end of a string. They were simple toys, but in their simplicity lay their charm. Using scraps from his furniture production, he created toys that were both economical to produce and affordable for families struggling through the Depression. Old Kirk put his faith in the philosophy of good quality play. Quality, he argued, was not just in the material, but in the potential it unlocked within a young mind. He instilled this belief into his 4 sons, teaching them that play was the first language of learning. But tragedy struck again. In 1942, during the German occupation of Denmark, fire once again destroyed old Kirk's dreams, consuming his inventory of wooden toys and much of his workshop. Materials were scarce during wartime, and rebuilding seemed nearly impossible. But old Kirk, with determination that transcended setbacks, chose to rebuild once more, and in the aftermath of the second fire, a serendipitous discovery would change everything. From the embers of this disaster, old Kirk saw a new possibility, not in wood, but in plastic. In the late 1940s, he took the bold step of purchasing a plastic injection molding machine, one of the first in Denmark. The investment was enormous, costing more than 30,000 Danish kroner, but old Kirk believed in the potential of this new material. With this technology, old Kirk began to create toys not of wood, but of plastic. After much experimentation, a modest brick emerged from his efforts, small in size, but limitless in possibility. By creating bricks that interlocked, old Kirk realized these new toys provided a foundation not just for play, but for imagination to flourish. The brick, unassuming, simple, yet revolutionary, became the cornerstone of old Kirk's philosophy and the enduring power of quality play. It was not just a toy, but a promise that every child, every person, held the potential to build worlds from their dreams. He called these bricks automatic binding bricks, a name that hinted at their potential to join together, much like individuals in a community. Old Kirk's message to the world was simple yet powerful. Our lives are an edifice we build day by day, brick by brick. Through years of perseverance, the family refined their creation. They were driven by the belief that their work was not merely to make toys, but to build the architects of tomorrow. And so they worked tirelessly to continuously improve the design. These interlocking bricks were more than plastic components. They were the building blocks of creativity. Every castle, spaceship, and city that emerged from these humble beginnings proved that from small things, great things could grow. The bricks embody old Kirk's belief in the power of systematic creativity, that with the right tools, imagination could be given physical form. Old Kirk's life was not marked by sudden success, but by steady persistence through adversity. His legacy endures in the understanding that what we build, be it a life, a dream, or a simple toy, is a reflection of our dedication and vision. He continued to work in the company until his death in 1958, by which time the plastic bricks had begun to show their enormous potential. The company that old Kirk founded began with a simple wooden duck, but grew to become synonymous with creativity itself. His company's evolution is not just about interlocking bricks. It's about the belief that play is essential to life, and with the right tools, anyone can build whatever they imagine. For the name of his company, old Kirk drew upon 2 Danish words, leg godt, meaning play well. With the hope and simplicity of his vision, the legacy of old Kirk Christensen lives on in every colorful brick, every joyful creation, and every moment of inspiration brought to life by Lego. See, friend, inspiration is all around us. You just have to look for it. Thanks for listening. Join us next week for another inspiring story about misfits and crackpots. Misfits and Crackpots is a production of Success Media, produced by Terrence Wishner. Sound effects by Alessandro Lucati, courtesy of Pixabay. Thank you for tuning in. If you love today's story, there's so much more to explore in the book Misfits and Crackpots by yours truly, Dr. Danny Brissell. Grab your copy now on Amazon and dive deeper into the extraordinary lives of those who dared to change the world. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share the podcast with fellow misfits who love inspiring stories. See you next time.